My name is Akiva Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues, and today, for our viewing audience and in an effort to continue to educate the public, we're going to talk about the consideration for getting divorced. Please subscribe to our channel to hear all about that. Today I want to begin at least part one of this series about the considerations for divorce. It's very interesting because I literally got off the phone before we started shooting today with somebody, must have talked to me for a half hour about all these questions this guy had about contemplating divorce. She doesn't know he wants a divorce, but he's got some very serious and I think legitimate reasons why he wants to get a divorce. But a whole bunch of considerations that he has to take into account, like, for example, the fact that he's the sole support. How is this going to impact him financially? What will his child support be? Does he have exposure for alimony? What if she wants to pick up and move back to Nebraska because that's where her family's from? Can she take the kid? There's a zillion different considerations when deciding whether or not a person should get divorced, and they're all very fact specific. In other words, your considerations are not going to be the same as the next guy's. It just is, everybody's got their own little world and the considerations that impact that environment. Now, you may say, well, therefore, since there are so many, how do I deal with it? And the answer is, in my view, the considerations that we talk about, the money, the support, the movement of one person out of state, all the other things, really, I don't think that should be part of the consideration of to get divorced or not. I think the relationship should govern and guide the decision to get divorced. If you feel that your relationship is salvageable, salvage it. If you feel it's unsalvageable and just intolerable and you just don't want to have any part of it, you don't want it to be part of your future, then start your divorce process. It doesn't matter, well, how much is it going to cost me if I pay support or this and that. None of that can be the reason to stay in the marriage. Once you've decided that it's over, all those issues will have to be dealt with, you're right, but there won't be considerations about whether or not you get divorced. They'll just be part of the overall divorce plan. But the decision to get divorced, that's, I think, something you have to make that decision first, and it really should be based on the relationship, not all these considerations that are ancillary to it. In other words, I believe it's a mistake for you to try to resolve your whole divorce case first before you decide whether or not you even want to get divorced. All those decisions are an example of putting the cart before the horse. First, look at the relationship, pulling all of that stuff out of the equation. Forget about the money, forget about the convenience, forget about what it may or may not cost you, because none of that matters. There's no price that's worth paying to be miserable for the rest of your life because you're worried about you're going to have to pay child support. That would be an inappropriate consideration. What you should do is look at this and decide, can I save my marriage and do I want to? If the answer is yes, I can save it, and yes, I want to save it, save it. Try. Make the effort. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then you can always get divorced. But those should be the considerations. Is there something to save in my marriage? If there is, make the effort. Now, if you arrive at the conclusion that it's not worth saving, or even if it was worth saving for me, it's lost all of its appeal, and I am no longer interested in this relationship. If you've come to that place, the other things, the other considerations you'll work out with your lawyer, with the help of the court, with the help of the judge. The other side will weigh in on it. Those things will be worked out. Remember one thing statistically. 97% of divorce cases in the state of Michigan settle without the need of a trial. And what does that mean? That means what I just said. Those issues will be worked out. You first got to make the decision of whether or not there's something to save. And if there's nothing to save, the rest will all fall into place. Now, if you have any questions about that, of course, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.